Good morning. Well, yesterday the probe came back from Jim Asbell, so basically this is a Jim Asbell probe. Other than me doing the mechanics on it, he did all the wiring. What I did though is I added a test lead ground clip on it and a piece of shrink tubing here on the probe. And it's hooked to the ICO 147A. There it is right there. Virtually no hum, and we got the gain all the way up on that. There's the gain. This is probably the RF. Very faint. What we're going to do is we're going to leave it in the RF. We got the Aero ear radio here. We got the Aero ear, even though we are powered, we got the polarized cord on it. We're still running through the isolation transformer anyways, because the ICO 147A has a 3-prong plug on it, just like these two pieces here. So the chassis are all grounded. So we always use an isolation transformer. We got it running up to the variac, which is now turned off. We have the variac temporarily plugged into this. This is the main supply. As I showed you on an earlier video, this is what, the arrangement we made. We moved it from here to here. So on this video here, I wanted to give you, as I promised, a demonstration of the probe and see how it works. This is going to be a first for you as well as me. I have not tried this off camera other than plainly testing it to make sure it works. We have the RG174 cable going up to a BNC connector, which I installed on the ICO 147A. I'll get you up on a tripod here so I can get the Aero ear powered up. And I got the schematic for the Aero ear, so we're going to do some checking to try to find where the IFs, well, we know where the IFs are, we just got to get in there. And what you want to do, and I'm sure you guys know this, is your probe. The reason this probe tip, and it only plugs in, it's, I believe it's 14 or 12 gauge wire. You want it long enough to get into the circuit, but you also want to have some insulation on it, so that it doesn't short anything out, and only the very tip will make contact. The shell, being it's copper, is grounded to the chassis via this. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do here is we got to make a little room. So we'll temporarily move our fluke meter out of the way here. And get my spectacles on here. So I'm feeling a lot better. I appreciate all the well wishes. Wife is doing really good now. There's a lingering of cough, but that lingers for weeks anyways with me. Alright, so this is now plugged into an isolation transformer. This is the Aero ear radio, and we are going to stick it in the IFs. That didn't sound good, did it? Let's see. Cord's a little stiff here. Shop isn't cold, it's just the type of wire that I used. Alright, let's put the variac on. That's isolation transformer is turned off right now. We are going to bring it up to not 126, 118 volts. And before we turn on a isolation transformer, we'll turn the radio on. We're going to put the volume up all the way here. We're not sure what band on. Let's find out what band we are on here. VHF. Alright. Let's put it on AM, which is going to be all noisy, of course, in the shop. One standard broadcast band. Okay, that humming you may hear is the isolation transformer humming. So we're isolated, so we could take this ground clip and put it right on the chassis. It will be just fine. And we will put that right here. Alright, now the first thing we're going to do is I'll try to get a station in here. It's not too sensitive.
It's always been able to do that. Okay. So then she looked at me and she realized. So she said, obviously.
Alright, let me keep that volume down there. I got the ICO 147 volume all the way up.
I see. She said, I see what you're trying to do. Let's ask your questions. Get good at this.
I'm pretty sure we're on RF.
Front of your kids as you talk to the teachers. Because some of the teachers, they just keep
Okay, let's get some magnification here.
Teachers, they're just keeping their heads down. I've worked in the government schools. So some of them will know. Kids watch you from someone who is telling them. Your kids are going to give this example.
Loads it down.
Video a lot more than my teacher on this topic. We talked earlier about the fact that YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, they are trying to say we're platforms. Therefore, we're not responsible for content that goes up, except we're going to edit the content. We're a platform, therefore we're not really gaining things.
Let me turn this volume, because turn this volume all the way down. The volume never goes completely down on this radio. Probably due to the volume control not going to 0 ohms. Not a big deal. Goes down low enough for me. I just want to try to hear something out of here. I'm not sure what... I should be on the RF because it's more sensitive here. But this is the AF. This should be the RF. It's weird. It kills it when I put it on. It's got a .001 coupling cap on here, and of course Jim had to solder all this in on the end, on both ends cap, because I couldn't work with the detail. My original idea to do this was to just leave the leads long, solder them on the VNC and on the tip here, and then just curl them up and shove it in the probe. That's why I sent it to Jim, because he could do a better job on it, and I'm sure he did. But for some reason it's not acting like a probe, and I show you my successes as well as my failures, and I'm more failure than success. I will tell you that right now, if you don't already know from watching my videos. Let me bring this probe down to Alright, I'm on a high impedance input here. Okay. Let's just try this.
Appreciation.
There it is.
Really critical sometimes of Mitch. It's not just the gallop flow, it's not just that. You are helping.
Alright. That's audio. I just flipped it down to audio. Now I'm going to flip it to RF. Yep.
CBD Sports Street. It really helped me do the things I love.
All right.
It's an all CBD product. There's no THC.
Okay. It's been quite a while since I put those jacks on that ICO 147A. One of the jacks is for audio and the other one was for RF. Then there's one for noise. Now I did disable that one because the one for noise is checking for component noise like resistor noise. That was a feature in the 147A. And all that would do is put out a high voltage at the probe, which I didn't want, so I disconnected that. So that feature is not needed, and I don't use that. If I want to hear noise, I could use a scope, or I could use the probe here. Because we don't want voltages coming through. Now there's a 001 disc cap, 1000 volt disc, ceramic disc cap at the nose of this thing. It's a DC blocking, so there'll be no harm in the 1N34A's diodes which are in here. If you look back on my video and the diagram and so forth, you'll remember how I made this. So, alright, we know that it's working there. Oh, these damn, I hate them car commercials. I hate them. Marble mouth. Marble mouth. They can't even talk. $100, $100. They save $100. Gee. The most irritating commercials is the car commercials. I don't know about you people, but we get 10 or 15 of them in 1 hour on the television station. It drives you nuts. They must think people are rich to go buy a new car every week. Okay, so the probe is working very well. Now, this is audio, but I got it cranked way up high. So, the audio output tube is right here. Look at the volume control.
When the media began
Okay, well, the RF probe is working good. Oh, I'm not even looking at the schematic, so, you know, I'm not trying to actually trace it out. I'm just giving a quick demonstration of the RF probe. And it appears to be working quite well. So let's go on another band here. Oh, it'd be nice to put an antenna on it, huh? Let's see. I have to tip it because the tuning condenser is dragging on the bench. And we don't want to break the dial cord. So that's at high end of the FM band. The heck was that? They don't stand long enough to tune them in. Oh well, let's try another band. Start out alive and it's dead now. Let's take this probe off a minute, the ground off of here. And let's put it on to on the outside, long wire ground here. Antenna rather. It's only a short clip lead, so I don't expect to get much out of it, or anything.
Thành kính cảm tạ tất cả các chính phủ, nhà lãnh đạo, tổ chức và các cá nhân đặc biệt về tất cả những hỗ trợ chân thành.
Long return to youth, to us of the United States, fueling fear of a thirsty future, a drop. Residents line up the beverage and fill plastic water bottles, containers, and a natural water spring on the site of a local community in Cape Town, South Africa. A water plant by Tracy Ryan.
Well, on the IFs, I don't seem to be picking up anything on the HF band. Don't seem to be getting anything on the IFs. Let's see, we got 2 here. Let's see what... Okay, we got 5 IF cans in there. So let's go down here. Nothing there, it just kills it. There's an IF, that's an IF down there. Oh, it's so hard to see in there. It's so hard to see in there. I could have made this lead longer, but I didn't want to. I wanted to keep it as short as possible. But it makes it hard when you do that. I'll end up shorting something out. That's why I put insulation on this, but you can still short things out. If I can't see what I'm doing, I'm not going to probe it. This lead isn't going to give me a problem. I'm going to have to extend it. Well, it's not picking up on HF at all on the... Maybe it's not supposed to. All right. We know the HF is working, so, you know. My main concern with a probe is radios like the S86 Helicopters. I still think that's got silver mica disease. And the only way you can hear that is by connecting a probe like this onto the IF. But for some reason on here, it's not working on HF on the IFs. You're hearing it from the speaker here. I'll turn this down, but we're not hearing it on any of the IF cans. I got the volume down. Nothing. So these 2 IFs here, nothing. Nothing from this IF. So there's 2 more IFs, and that's what I was just doing. Nope. So, I guess a probe is useful to some extent, and then beyond that, you just got to check components if your radio don't work, if you can't seem to do anything with a probe. So, it does not work on HF off the IFs. So, we know that for a fact. So, low frequency wouldn't do any good. We know the AM works off the IFs. Medium frequency would be turn the volume down, see if I hear that static on the That's audio. This is RF. Alright, let's see if we hear that static here on medium frequency band, checking all the IFs. So we'll start up here. Nothing. Yep. Alright. I'm checking 2 pins too. Alright, there seems to be some activity on one of the IFs here. I have to look on the diagram to see which IF can is what here. Alright, we're not having much luck with the IFs on that. Let's see if we get this hiss. We're on the VHF now, which is the aircraft band. Let's see if we get that hiss coming through on the probe. This is really a test of the probe. And I'm not too well experienced, that's nothing new, I don't know much of anything, to tell you the honest truth, on tracing signals out, you know. I usually just check components and voltages and resistances and stuff like that and hope the radio works. That's usually what I always do. But let's see if we get anything off the IFs here. A lot of times it just cuts the signal out putting this in. And the light goes all the way up. Nope, there's 2 IF cans that are not doing anything. Now, at the most it cuts down the little bit of hiss I can hear even with the volume down. Well, the radio's working because you wouldn't be getting the hiss out of it. So, I'm going to end this video now. Keep the antenna off. Shut that down. Shut the variac down. Shut this down. So, the probe works. I may try, I will try other radios using this. But, there she be. I want to thank Jim Asbell for wiring this up for me. He had no way of testing it. He doesn't even have a radio in the house. So he told me. No signal generators, no nothing, so really I had to be the one to try it out. So, well, that's the review of the probe, and I think the probe is working. It's just maybe the ICO's got a lot of gain, so I don't think it's that. Matter of fact, it's set on the highest gain right here, and it hums quite a bit. Put it back on here. There's a hum, mechanical hum, that's a transformer. You can feel it. See? That's how sensitive that is. The gain is all the way up. Okay. So it's definitely a lot of gain on the ICO 147. You put the probe on, short it out. She's quiet. That's it. Thanks for watching.